Hello and welcome to LJFC TV. Today we'll be talking about the history of Lillington Juniors Football Club. But before we start, here's some brief videos of the club throughout the years. Ryan, Lillington.
Yes.
Yes, why we're all here. What made you want to set up Lillington Juniors Football Club?
So goes back 5 years. It'd be 6 actually this year. Got 3 boys and a daughter. The youngest at the time was 6. Didn't have anywhere to play football. Very limited options for children that age. And I started getting involved with another local club who had one team at the time. They asked me to go along and help out as a qualified coach. I did. Slight disagreement, I guess, with how things should be run at a junior football club. So we sort of went our separate ways. I don't believe don't think they're continuing now, but off the back of that, had a sit down, decided that it'd be a good idea to set up a football club. And yeah, it's 6 years on this year. We've grown quite rapidly.
Okay, and did it start off with just the one team, or did you get a group of people together?
So the first year, at the time it seemed quite ambitious because we started with 6 teams.
Okay.
And actually each year when we sort of predict how many teams we're going to have, we do, touch wood, we tend to hit the forecast or what we're expecting. So yeah, first season was 6 teams, then I think it was 14, then I think it went up to 22, and it carried on from there really.
Yeah, and as this expansion goes, has it proven to be harder and harder to get coaches to support those teams? Because I know that from doing my FA course myself that a lot of the parents help out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be difficult to get that sort of engagement, especially with so much expansion, so much growth so quickly.
Yeah, great point. I think in terms of the players, I think that's not as difficult to get as the coaches. I know that we have quite a few children that come along. Parents bring the children along saying that they've been to other clubs but they don't have any space. We've always been of the mindset that if we don't have space, we will make space. So if we have enough children at a certain age group, we will create a team, which is kind of what's happened in some cases over the years. The most difficult, and it's a great point, is the coaches and getting people to help out. So it's a little bit more involved than just having a kickabout. So getting qualified coaches has been a bit of a struggle really.
You talked briefly about disagreements with the old club, but also about the sort of philosophy. Is there an underlying philosophy that you have as a club in general?
Yeah, so hopefully you know yourself, Robbie, as a coach, our philosophy is very much about, and it says behind me here, football for all. We don't judge young players' ability playing football. We very much look at it as though the children enjoy playing football, they make friends, and we really want to encourage that and help try and develop that. So football for all, never judging players. We get players of all different abilities together in a team, and the coaches are fantastic because they help bring those players on and they don't treat them any differently, and they give them as much equal game time as possible.
Good, good. Other point I want to touch on is the relationship with North Leamington School. Now, has it always been training and games based at North Leamington School? Did it start off that way? Did it develop as the school got developed?
Well, it didn't actually. So our first ever training session was actually at Myton School, and I think that was in a very cold, rainy October evening. And we've got a photo of, I think there's about, so it might be the second or third training session. First session we had was 6. We've got a photo a few sessions down the line where there's 12 of them, and a few coaches, and it was quite interesting to see because the photo that we've got of 12 children, there's actually, I think there's still 7 that are with us now, all these years on. So so we started at Myton School. We moved on then. We did some sessions over. I think it was when we got a bit more light in the evenings. I think the following spring we started doing it at New Old Common. We did some there, and we just saw the numbers sort of grow ahead of the following season, really the first season. So we had the October through to almost the following September.
Yeah.
Before we'd even started in the league, really.
Okay, that's interesting. I want to touch a bit on the senior men's team, because myself coming from initially the senior men's team and then coming into the youth development, what made you think, right, I need to set up a pathway to a senior level? Was that always an ambition of yours, or was that just sort of as the progressive players got up the age groups that you thought we need to have a next level for them?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, Robbie, they're missing you.
Obviously, obviously.
In at the back post, Robbie, that's right, yeah. He used to sneak around the back post, you believe it or not, scored a couple of headers, didn't you?
That's where I saw most of my goals from. Don't know how.
So, no, yeah, again, another very good point. And it's something we're looking at for the girls, because obviously we've got the girls' teams now as well, and hopefully introducing a ladies' team in the next couple of seasons for them to progress through to. But with having the majority, I guess, initially, certainly the way with boys' teams, we wanted to get the senior men's side started. The reason we did it so early, and we did it when I think our oldest age group, so it would have been 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe
2 years ago. 2 years ago. So they were under 13. So that's quite a big gap between under 13s and senior football. Yeah. The reason we did it like that is because, with all due respect to the league that we're playing at the moment, it's a Sunday morning league. Yeah. When you get to the top division, which the first team are lucky to be in now after back-to-back promotions, but it is Sunday morning football, and we want to progress our men's sides to a Saturday afternoon, so they're playing at a fairly decent standard. So by the time, our under 15s now are probably only 18 months, 2 years away from progressing through to senior football. We want them to play at a decent level and not end up getting kicked all over the pitch.
A certain way. Yeah. Oh, okay. And what does the future hold for Lillington Juniors Football Club? Where does the club go from here?
There are massive plans, big plans. My dad, the chairman, has been busy working on looking for our own ground. That's something that he's very keen to do. We're also very keen to help him do that. I think it just keeps our identity as a club. There's a lot of clubs out there for various reasons, and I completely understand why. There's a real lack of facilities or grounds, areas that they can play on together. So they're sort of dotted around at different schools, different parks. Yeah. We never wanted to do that, which is why we sort of set up at North Lem School. So finding a ground enables us to keep that sort of community club feeling, so that we're all belonging to the same club. I also think as well, just as I said, touching on the lack of facilities, winter facilities, massively important, because you look around the AstroTurf, the all-weather pitches that are around in Leamington, Warwick, Kenneth, they're few and far between. Yeah. They're booked up constantly year after year, and the people that have been on there generally get first, refusal the year after, and they don't tend to give it up very easily. So there are things to be said about having another all-weather pitch on our own ground. Fantastic. Which would also, I think, benefit other teams other sports that could perhaps use the facilities. So that's something we're looking at. Next season there'll be, I think, another 6 teams.
Yeah.
I think. And as I mentioned earlier, there'll be plans for a ladies team, which will probably be not next season, the season after. But we're quite keen to do that as well.
Okay, thank you. Very bright future for Lillington. Thank you for joining us on LJFC TV, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button.